By the end of this video, when we go to our NPC and get a quest from him, can you help? Yes, of course I can. Thanks. I knew, yeah. We can check out the quest we got. We need to collect 5 potions and 2 heart potions. Let's pick up the rest of them. There they are in our inventory. In our quest log, we can see they're all done. Let's go back to our old man. Thank you for the potions. Maybe I'll open a shop. How sweet of him. We check our quest log, it's all gone. And our inventory, he took our potions. Well, we gave them to him, so it's fine. If we talk to our NPC again, he'll remember that we've completed the quest. And repeat saying, maybe I'll open a shop. Foreshadowing. The state of our quests and our NPC remembering that we completed the quest will also be saved when we save our game. So cool, let's check it out. So first, let's set up the functions we need inside our QuestController. On my game controller, I have my QuestController Script. I'll double click on this, and at the top, so we can save and know what quests have been handed in, I'm going to create a new public list of string called handing quest IDs and set this to equal new. Now we can take a look at our script. We've got accept in our quests, knowing if our quest is active and checking our inventory for any quest items, as well as loading our quest progress. I'll keep that loading quest progress at the bottom, and in here we'll want to know a public bool for is our quest completed, and we'll pass in a string of a quest ID. We'll use this in our NPC script, so we know when to progress our dialogue for quest completion. So we'll go quest progress, quest equals active quests.find, and passing q equals greater than to make an arrow function q.questid double equals quest ID. So we can grab the quest from our active quest and then return if our quest is not null, and double ampersands our quest.objectives.true for all, and pass in o equals greater than o dot is completed. So here, if we do have this quest in our active quests, so it's not null, and if this quest's objectives are all completed, we'll return true. Else, if either of these is not true, we'll return false. So cool, our NPC will be able to check is the quest completed, and if it is, we'll have another function for a public void hand in quest. Again, passing in the string of our quest ID. So first we'll try and remove our required items from our inventory, and once those have been removed, we'll remove our quest from our quest log. To remove our items, let's write a new function to keep this tidy, which will make a public bool, which I'll call remove required items from inventory, very long name, and pass in our quest ID. So just like above here in our is quest completed, you can copy and paste this. We want quest progressed, quest equals active quests.find to find our quest. If our quest equals null, we want to return false. So we don't have this quest in our active quests and something has gone wrong. If we did find the quest, we'll create a new dictionary of int for our required items, which we can set to equals new. And first we're going to get all our item requirements from our objectives. So we'll go for each quest objective in quest.objectives, and we'll say if objective.type equals objective type collect item, since we only want to do this for when we're collecting items, and int.tryPass objective.objective ID, comma, out int item ID, as our objective ID should be our item ID. Oh, this out int item ID should be inside this try pass. So objective ID, comma, out item ID. So if this objective is collecting the item and we can pass our objective ID out to an int, we can set our required items, square brackets, key to be item ID, and set the value here for our requirement of how many of these items we need to collect to be objective.required amount. So now we know how many of the items we need to collect. For example, we had potion 5 out of 5. So this is going to be stored as 1 being the item ID and 5 being the required amount. Now we know the requirements, we can then verify that we have the items in our inventory. Our dictionary int item counts equal InventoryController.instance.getItemCounts as we set up in our last video. Now we can go around our required items with for each var item in required items and check if our item counts dot get value or default, pass in our key, so that'll be our item.key, is less than our item.value. So what we're saying here is what we have in our inventory less than the required amount from our required items. If it is less than, we're going to return false, as we don't have enough items to complete the quest. Otherwise, if this all passes through without returning false, we can remove the required items from the inventory by going for each var item requirement in required items, and then we'll go through and remove the items from our inventory, and at the end return true. saying that this has happened and we've removed the items. Now, since removing these items directly from the inventory is just inventory logic, we should put that in our inventory controller. So back in Unity, on my game controller, I also have my InventoryController script. So I'm going to double click on this, and down the very bottom of our script, just before the bottom brace, I'll add a new public void remove items from inventory. In here, we're going to want an int for our item ID and an int for the amount to remove. Say we had 6 potions and we want to remove 5 for handing in the quest. We're going to need to know we just want 5 to remove. So then we're going to want to go for each transform slot transform in inventory panel dot transform. If our amount to remove is less than or equal to 0, we'll break out of this for each. So it'll go to the next slot as nothing will need to change. Just a catch in case it goes wrong. Then we'll want our slot equals slot transform dot get component slot. And we'll say if slot question mark to make sure we did get one, dot current item, question mark to make sure there is one, dot get component, and pass in item is item, lowercase item, double ampersands, and our item.id is equal to item ID that we passed in. So do we have a current item in our slot? If we do, we'll grab it out by saying is item, and does our item ID match the one that we passed in? So is this the correct item that we want to remove? If it is, then we want to start tracking how many we've removed from our inventory, as we can split our stacks of items into separate stacks and put them in different slots. So we'll want int removed, mathf.min, and pass in amount to remove, comma, item.quantity. So which is the smallest amount? Let's say we have 2 in our slot, but we want to remove 5. The minimum here will be 2, so we've only removed 2 from this slot. Now our item script actually has a function on it called remove from stack, which we can reuse here by passing in removed to know how much we want to remove from our stack. And then we'll set our amount to remove to minus equals removed. So say there was 2 in the stack, we wanted to remove 5. Our amount to remove will now be 3. So now we need to check if our item.quantity is now equal to 0. We want to destroy the slot.current item and set our slot.current item to equals null. This will then continue around checking our slots and removing as many as needed as required by our quest. After this for each, like we were doing in our previous video, we want to rebuild our item counts. So we'll call rebuild item counts at the bottom, which if we remind ourselves by holding down Control and clicking on, you can see this updates our item count cache. We'll invoke inventory changed, which in our quest controller will update any quest progress and update any quest UI. But cool, we got our items removing in our inventory controller. We scroll back down to where we were working on our remove required items for inventory in our quest controller. We can now call this in our for each loop where we want to remove our required items. So we can go inventorycontroller.instance.remove items from inventory and pass in item requirement.key and item requirement, as that's the item ID and item requirement .value, which is the amount we want to remove. Cool, so this remove required items from inventory is what we wanted to do when we handed in our quest. So let's call this up in our hand in quest. We'll go and remove required items from inventory and pass in that quest ID. And as this returns a boolean of true only when this was successful, we want to wrap this within an if statement by going if not remove required items from inventory. So if we couldn't get this to remove, then we're going to return out of this function as the quest couldn't be completed and we have some missing items. Else if this does go through and we remove all our required items, we want to remove our quest from our quest log. So once again, we want to do this finding our quest. So quest progress, active quests. I'm going to copy and paste this. You can even copy and paste this from above or below. And then check if our quest does not equal null, so exclamation mark equals, our active quests will dot remove and pass in our quest. And then our quest UI, we can call update quest UI. So that's the code we need for handing in our quest. If you remember at the top, we added a new list so we could save and remember which quest IDs we'd handed in. So with hand in quest IDs, let's go back to our hand in function. And at the top, before we remove this quest from our active quests, we can go hand in quest IDs .add quest ID. Now with these being stored, we can add another new function of a public bool is quest handed in and pass in a string of our quest ID. Here we can simply return hand in quest IDs .contains quest ID. So if our quest has been handed in, it'll be within this list, and this will return true. If our quest hasn't been handed in, it'll return false. Okay, very cool. Now we've got this all set up, we can get interacting with our NPC to hand in our quest. So let's go back to Unity, and in my scripts folder, I can scroll down and go to my NPC script, double click on this. Let's scroll down and check out what we've got. So down inside Start Dialog, we've set up already for our quest state completing and have our completed quest dialog lines. If you haven't done this, check out the previous video. However, we haven't currently got our quest state being set to completed in our function that syncs with our quest data. If we scroll on down, just below, I've got our sync quest state function. You can see we've got a comment here, future update adding completing quest and handing in. Haha, that's what we're about to do. So above this if statement here, we want to say if our QuestController.instance.isQuestCompleted and pass in our quest ID, or with these two double lines, our QuestController.instance.isQuestHandedIn and pass in our quest ID. If either of these are true, we'll set our quest state to equals QuestState.completed, and we can change this if below to be an else if. Cool, next up we want to be able to hand in the quest at the end of talking to our old man when our quest is completed and when our quest isn't handed in. So it'll be the first time we've talked to him since we've completed the quest and before we've handed it in. So if we scroll on down, we're looking for our end dialog function. In here, before we close down our dialog with this current code, we want to say if our quest state equals QuestState.completed and our QuestController.instance.isQuestHandedIn, and we'll pass in our dialog data .quest.questID. Then in here, I'll do that on the same line. I don't know why they separated the lines. And in here, we'll handle our quest completion, which we'll write in a new function. So down below, I'll go void handle quest completion. So with our quest controller, we'll be able to call QuestController.instance.handInQuest. And in fact, let's pass in our quest, as we can grab it once from our dialog data.quest and pass it in the function here. So then we can just go handInQuest quest.questID, which we can now call up in our end dialog, so dialog data.quest will pass in to our handle quest completion. And before we go back to Unity, when we end our dialog, we want to make sure our quest is completed but not handed in. So we need an exclamation mark in front of this QuestController.instance is quest handed in. So we complete and hand in the quest only when it's not handed in. Cool. Let's go back to Unity and test this out. So in Unity, let's press play. I'll go to our old man, pick up our quest. Thank you all. We've got 0 out of 5 potions and 0 out of 2 heart potions, which I've now picked up in our quest. We can see these are all completed. You can see them in our inventory. Let's split them out into stacks, make it a bit harder for the code. Test it works. Thank you for the potions. Maybe I'll open a shop. How lovely. Let's check. In our inventory, our items are gone and our quest is gone. Amazing. And if we talk to our old man again, he remembers that we gave him the potions and he doesn't try and give us the quest again. However, if we save our game now, close it down and open it back up, our quest is empty and he's asking us to do the quest again. We've already done this. Come on, we're going around in circles. So let's close this one down. And if you remember, in our QuestController script, we have this hand in quest IDs. So we know which quests we've handed in and have been completed. We need to add this to our SaveController. So in Unity, on my game controller, I can go to my SaveController script, double click on this, and in our save game, you can see we have our save data class. Hold down Control and click on this, where we can see our quest data is being stored. Below here, we can go public list string hand in quest IDs. With this in here, we can now go back to our SaveController, where we set up our save data underneath active quests. Oh, I've just realized it's called activate quest. You know what I mean. We can set our hand in quest IDs to equal our QuestController.instance.hand in quest IDs. And then very easy, down in our load game, underneath our QuestController instance, we can go QuestController.instance.hand in quest IDs equals save data.hand in quest IDs. Save it out, load it in. Very easy. So cool, now let's test it out. Let's press play in Unity. I'll talk to our old man, get our quest. Thank you, I knew you'd help. Yes, 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 I've said it many times now. Got all my items, they're in my inventory. Talk to our old man, thank you for the potions. Maybe I'll open a shop. Very nice. Inventory is empty, quest log is empty. Let's save our game, close it down, open it back up, talk to our old man, and hopefully he won't give us a quest. Thank you for the potion. Maybe I'll open a shop. He's remembered that we completed the quest. Very cool. Now I know our items are all on the floor and they keep appearing here. These are just for testing. These kind of items you'd only have, you know, popping out of a chest or dropping from an enemy or a bush that you destroy or a pot or something. They're supposed to be disappearable items. I'm just using them as a test. Sorry if it's confusing. If you want the items to disappear, you can set them up the same as we did for our chests, where as I've opened our chest, if I save my game, close it down and open it again, we'll see that our chest has stayed open. So you can save individual item states in that way. But for my game, I'm leaving these so that they keep coming back. But anyway, wait a minute, we did all that work for that old man and he didn't give us anything. What's the point of completing quests if you don't get anything? In our next video, we'll take a look at quest rewards. But cool, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the future ones. If there are any scripts you're missing out on, or these are too long to catch up with, you can join our Patreon and grab every single script I've ever written on the channel. Or you can grab this whole project, the whole top-down template with all finished features and future updates for free. So check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!